Hello everybody, this is Megan from A Local's Perspective, and in this video I'm going to explain methods for researching and producing a story. Every story has a beginning. A Local's Perspective highlights interesting and inspiring stories. I found that organizing and knowing where to look are great tools to have when beginning to find inspiration for a story. As I'm a filmmaker, I've done my own research to find compelling stories for documentary and narrative films. To begin, I would like to talk about where to look. I have found inspiration for stories everywhere. Whether you want to tell a true story or a fiction, you can find inspiration in everyday life. I like to use social media. There are always so many stories that are shared on Facebook and Instagram. There's this page that's called Love What Matters, and they always share inspiring and amazing stories that people submit to them, and they tell the story that they want to be told. You can find stories through asking family members. There are so many amazing stories that are passed through families, and personal experience of family or friends can sometimes make a great story. If you want to focus on a specific area and its people, go there and talk to them. Ask them questions. My screenwriting professor told us that you can tell great stories from what you already know. Whether this be where you are from, your parents' jobs, what your family members do, use personal knowledge and what you know to create a story. You can also find true stories from where you grew up. Once you find the story that you want to tell, it's time to research. You can research on the internet. There are countless sources that you can find on the internet. If you are doing your story on a specific person, you can look for their website or social media accounts if they have any. You can go to the library and research books, magazines, academic journals about your topic, and you can also interview people around or involved with your story. Doing your research, you will need to take notes. Now I'm going to show you how I format my notes in a Word document. Here's a document I made to show you how I format my notes. I begin by making the title of my research. I then explain what my topic is about in a short paragraph. And then under the About section, I create a tagline that explains my story in one sentence. Then you can begin to list all of your people and characters in bullet format or whatever format you choose. Describe who the person is, what they do, and then who they are. I then like to list all my notes from my research. So begin with the information you found, then explain what the type of information it is. Was it from a book, a first-person account, word of mouth, etc.? If you did an interview with some people, list them out, and then under that person, write the question you asked and their response. Next, I list different approaches about how I can tell my story. Every story can be told differently. There are so many avenues a person can take with a story, so list the different ways you can tell your story. Finally, you can write a reflection about your information. What is the true meaning of what you want to share? What message specifically do you want to convey with the story that you are going to tell? And what impact do you want to have with this story? Thank you for watching. You can visit my website, alocalsperspective.wordpress.com, to find inspirational and amazing stories recommended by locals.